I'd like to formally introduce Sheila ma'am. And so, of course, we know her as the founder and director of Speak Smart Academy. But beyond that, Sheila ma'am has been teaching effective communication and she's been creating thought leaders. She's been mentoring a lot of award-winning public speakers, and she starts from very young to, of course, CEOs and businesswomen. As an entrepreneur and educator, she does work with individuals across all age groups, from students to professionals, and the objective is to help them all excel in their roles. She believes that communication is the most powerful tool in the world, and that is one that can make, break, or create and optimize business opportunities, relationship, and also one's life. One of our favorite quotes from what Sheila ma'am always tells us is speaking is our most used currency. And it is our most used currency to communicate with the entire world. And it's time we learn to use it well. In addition to being an impeccable communicator, Sheila ma'am is a dynamic and charismatic leader and motivational speaker. She moderates a lot of sessions around. She's a debater, panelist, a keynote speaker, and all of our communication coaches. She's been sharing her worldview with diverse audience, and also she is deeply committed to women's empowerment. She served as the first president of Millennium Mams, which is an NGO dedicated to financial empowerment of women. She is also an executive committee member of Lady Study Group Kolkata, which is also a prestigious platform that promotes leadership, entrepreneurship, and social change among women. Overall, ma'am is a firm believer in the cause of spreading communication awareness and its transformative power, which we have seen in all our Speak Smart students and beyond. So today we are really excited to share some things about the examination with you. So thank you, Sheila.
Okay. So with that, I'll take over and tell you a bit how our format works. So before we start, I just wanted to mention some things that welcoming Vishakha Agarwal as a partner in Speak Smart, and also we've rebranded from Speak Smart Academy. So now we are formally registered as Speak Smart School of Communication, and we are happy to share that with you. So just few things I wanted to clarify, because there are a lot of parents who are familiar, but there are many parents who are not very familiar with what we are doing exactly. And I thought I'll take this opportunity to explain a little bit. So like Vishakha mentioned, that my favorite quote is communication or speaking is the most used currency. And why I use the word currency is because irrespective of your qualifications, like today you may be a doctor, you may be a business person, you can be whoever. In life, what happens if you use it well, then in a way your currency grows stronger. Whereas if you are an ineffective communicator, you will sort of depreciate your own brand value. So that is why we keep thinking of it as a life skill. Like, say, for instance, whether it is two lawyers or two doctors who may be equally skilled. Now, how you are handling the rest of your life, whether it is client communication, whether it is hospitals, whatever it is going to affect the trajectory of your growth. So this effective communication, that is why we keep calling a life skill. So whether it's a businessman, whether in a relationship, even in a parent-child communication, we are never questioning the intent of the parent, but are you reaching your objective? So here also, I wanted to distinguish a little bit between what is communication and what is effective communication, and why at Speak Smart we call it a center for effective communication. So what is effective communication? So ultimately, it's not that a talkative person is an effective communicator. So even if you know what to say and you're saying it clearly and your content is right, you still may or may not be effective in life. So what do you mean by effectiveness? Does anybody care to share? What in your head would be effective communication? So for us, effective communication is essentially a goal-focused communication. It is effective when it helps you to achieve your end objective. Now, in a debate, maybe you are persuading the audience. When you're talking to your child, maybe you want your son or daughter or your spouse to do something for you. Okay, so how you are approaching it, your content may be great. You may be very clear what you want to say, and you're a very confident speaker. But are you meeting your end objective? So if you don't watch, whether it's your kid or your spouse or your partner or your business partner, maybe you need to watch that person's mood. Check on that first before talking in a way where it will be receptive from that other point, that person's point of view, and then communicating. Because your objective is not to prove anybody wrong or right, and in life, it's not always about winning a debate. So when we say effective communication, we are teaching our students the ingredients of being much more effective in life. So that is why you'll see we post these videos that, maybe sometimes they're talking a lot, sometimes they're not talking so much, but they have to again identify these ingredients for themselves, irrespective of the topic, who is the audience, what is the format. In TV, you talk in a particular way to be far more entertaining. In debate, little bit more aggression. But on a dining table conversation, you have to acknowledge that, oh, okay, you said this, I get your point of view. However, I don't quite feel the same way. So in every format of conversation, your end objective is different. Today, if you're negotiating, you want a different objective, but it doesn't mean that you have to just say what you want. You have to smartly get the deal done. So that is what we mean by effective communication. And that is why in Speak Smart, we give it a lot of importance and call it a life skill, irrespective of your other qualifications. Now, with that, I just want to tell you about a few other things. Like when people talk about, say we have kids who are shy, okay, kids who are people focused. Like, so these things I also wanted to share, that extroversion and introversion are personality types, but it has nothing to do with effective communication as a skill. So extroverted person is maybe a people focused person who is going to gain. Just excuse me for a moment, please. Sorry. So an extroverted person is enjoying being with people. All right. And that kind of energizes the person. That after a big party, you feel okay, you feel even more energy and you're able to deliver things. An introverted person may not be a people focused person, in the sense that maybe you're happier with fewer friends or you're quieter. But it doesn't mean that you are not an effective communicator. All right. So effective communication is a skill, like learning to play the piano, like learning to play tennis. If you master the skill, then only you can be an effective communicator. So if, for instance, you choose not to talk or talk, that's a separate thing. But if you have the skill in place, it's like having money in the bank. So after having money in the bank, you can say that, okay, I don't want to buy a Bentley. I'm okay with, my Kia or whatever it is. But if you don't have the money in the bank and you say, I just want a Kia, then I don't think there's much justification for it. So we will equip all our students with the skill and then let them take the decision where they want to use it, how they want to use it. And it is a process. Now, here also, again, I spoke a little bit about extroversion and introversion, but there is another thing also. Like from tomorrow, if I decide to start playing football 24/7 and I practice very hard every day, there is no way that I will still become anywhere near a football star. Okay. Or if I practice tennis all the time, I will still not reach Serena's level at any point. So there are ingredients that, of course, there is a skill set. It is a skill set, but there are some people who are going to have an innate talent or an innate inclination. So we have to recognize these things as we deal with our students. So here also, of course, I am not able to be Serena Williams, but I learned the game of tennis, so I can play to my best. I'm not going to make a fool out of myself on the tennis court. Even if I recognize my boundaries and I know this is the time for me to not be on the court or play. So this is what I just wanted to explain, that how we treat it as a life skill. Now coming to the exam bit, wanted to share. So in class, for every time that we do class, what we do is we choose for every class a topic and a different format. So like in some class, we'll be doing debate, some class may be a storytelling, some class may be a skit, Some class may be a panel discussion. Some class may be, a television style speaking. Some part will be pitching for a particular thing. And we have a lot of formats. So with every format, what happens, irrespective of the content, the student has to recognize this is my end objective. And that is how they interact with the audience. So you will see, other than the teacher feedback, we help the students also to get feedback. They'll give live reaction. And they'll tell you that, this is what you could have done. So as they are identifying these ingredients and critiquing others, they learn the ingredients themselves. Okay. So my point of sharing is sometimes there's a lot of impatience with young people. I mean, parents who are saying that, what is the growth? So just wanted to share this with you that, it's a complex subject. Or not so complex subject. Let our students play and learn. There is a lot of learning happening. Like, we give them a new topic. They have to arrange the topic, make it attractive for speaking. Then they have to work with their group. Okay, that in itself is a process of maybe 10 ideas are coming, which one to put across, what is the sequence, and every single class, they are making a presentation. This also we need to balance our numbers because like I said, not only is it a life skill, but it is a very practical skill. So if Vishakha and I kind of explained everything to them that, you stand like this, you look at people like this, and this is how you talk, there is no learning going to happen. So often a student also knows that these are the expectations. This is what I have to do. But the learning comes with that experiential growth and the application. So every time they speak, there is going to be growth. So without kicking the ball, you don't learn football. And it is the same with public speaking. So for this, we require a little bit of your patience. Now, that's why this is what I told you about Speak Smart class. Now, what are the Trinity exams and what are Speak Smart exams? I would like to share a little bit. So Trinity College is like your ICSC or ISC or CBSC. It is a board. There is no college actually. It is a certification process from UK. So the advantage of this is, okay, so first let me demystify the exam a little bit before getting into advantages. So it is not like a school exam where, you take a written test and the teacher assesses. It is a live interactive exam with the examiner. Okay, so there is going to be an examiner. Whatever written work, if they have to prepare their topics, they do that before. They will be presenting in front of the examiner. There is some kind of an engagement and they are assessed on the speeches and the presentations they make. All right. But with Trinity, it is an internationally recognized board. It's a certification like your ICSC and CBSC have credibility. So Trinity has a lot of credibility all over the world. So, and this is the way, and it is graded. I'll explain. So it is graded from initial to grade 8. So there are 9 levels, and in different levels, you learn different skill sets. So we encourage students to take, all the levels if they can. If not, I'll go through the selection process later. But again, both with Trinity and with Speak Smart, there is a flexibility. You don't have to start at 1 and do every round. So you are doing grade 2, it is possible to jump. It is possible to start directly at a grade 5. But again, like I said, it depends on the student's skill set and comfort. And I'll come to the selection process later. So with that, I'd also like to request Vishakha ma'am to share a little bit about maybe the Speak Smart syllabus going forward. So I just wanted to share with you why, again, at Speak Smart, we developed a Speak Smart communication exam, which we are planning to introduce this year. So Trinity is a fixed syllabus, which is a good syllabus. However, through my experience, I kind of started observing that there are a lot of other skills which I would like my students to have, which Trinity is taking care of partly, but not wholly. That was my main objective. So I kind of devised a syllabus, which in my opinion will kind of introduce ingredients to make it more practical and more real life. Okay, so I'll share that a little bit and then I will explain to you. Like for instance, ma'am, you can maybe share Trinity grade 3. Okay, so these are the elements that we've introduced. Okay, before this, I'd just like to explain one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how Trinity and Speak Smart both work, and this is common to...
नहीं यार तो पूछ लेता.
Okay, so
नहीं यार तो पूछ लेना.
ma'am, somebody needs to mute.
I mute.
Yeah. Okay, so what happens is normally in class, every time we take a new topic and children do it, students do it, and they are done with it. So we don't as such give homework. Now for Trinity exams and Speak Smart exams, the process is a little different. We have a very wide umbrella for selection. So Vishakha ma'am, will you just pull up the Trinity exam? Like I'll just take a grade 3, it's a random grade, and I'll just explain the process to you.
I'm scrolling to grade 3.
Ma'am, we can't see your screen. Ajay, we can. Now we can. Right. All right. Say for instance, Vishakha ma'am, can you come to task 2, please?
Yes.
No, in task 2, grade 3, ma'am.
Oh, grade 3 task 2, ma'am. Just 1 second. The Zoom things come. I'm making it full screen. 1 second.
It's all right. So every grade, whether it is Trinity or Speak Smart, has different tasks, which are all speaking tasks, and they kind of added. No, ma'am, you've come to attainment descriptors. I want the Trinity grade. Should I share it?
Fine. It was just glitching. It will stabilize in a second, ma'am. It's here.
No, I want that, just that to show, Vishakha, just the grade task 2. Yes, please. All right. Okay. So I'm just explaining to you how it works. Like I said in class, normally we take a topic and everybody's talking on the topic. For the exam prep, whether it is Trinity or Speak Smart, there will be not homework because we will guide them and it has to be independent work. However, the children have to repeat a little to learn it and they have to present. And again, I'll come back because we don't want memorization of work and we'll explain that later. But now just to show you what a syllabus looks like, say for instance, this is a grade 3 which I've randomly taken, which says I am concerned about. So here, see, you can see the broad frame of the topic. So it is not like a school exam where everybody learns history and geography or mathematics and you're tested on it. Here we encourage the students to take up independent topics which interest them. So you could be concerned about device addiction. You could be concerned that, kindness is decreasing in the world. You can be concerned that bullying is happening. You can be concerned that parents have little time for their children. Okay, so can you see how wide it is? It could be you are concerned that green cover is decreasing. So whether it is Speak Smart, whether it is Trinity, we have devised it like this, that it is a very broad frame where also we want the children to speak from their strengths, to speak from their interests, and therefore, learn in that way. Okay, so ma'am, and can you pull up the Speak Smart syllabus, grade 3? I'll just show you. So this is the kind of thing, and what are the other elements that I have tried to, put into our Speak Smart syllabus, and how also I'll tell you the advantages and disadvantages of both. I mean, advantages of both, not disadvantages as such.
Ma'am, it is sharing. It's
okay. So I'll just talk a little bit about it.
Can you see the screen?
Ma'am, I need to see only the task, I think, in blue. No, on top, ma'am. The lot of other things are showing.
Okay. Ma'am,
we forgot to shift the column, I think, Vishakha.
No, we did, ma'am. It'll show you now.
Okay. So, like for instance, in addition to this concern, in grade 3, we have other things like I have put in, I'll just share with you, Vishakha will share the grade later, things like demonstrating a process. Okay. So, even demonstrating a process can be, so it is in addition to speaking, like you can demonstrate cricket, you can demonstrate water cycle, you can demonstrate how to bake a cake. Okay, so we've got a demonstration process here, which is you are speaking, you are doing, you are explaining, which is a different format, which we've seen that kids find, interesting and it's important. Then I'll just show you level 3. What is the other thing I've introduced? The third task. Okay, so here I've introduced a Trinity up to grade 3 and even up to grade 8, it is very presentation based. All right, which is a good thing. But in Speak Smart, what we have done is we've injected some elements which are a little bit more interactive, and I'll explain how. Like for instance, in task 3 of grade 3 for Speak Smart, I put in this section where you learn to persuade somebody to take that person somewhere, or you want something for that person, or you need permission. Now, why okay, so I'll just explain this. So here, in my experience, what happens is, other than persuasion, what we are going to teach them here are the first principles of negotiation. So whenever you want something out of life, now, whether you want to convince a parent for something, whether you want to convince a friend for something, whatever your objective is, you have to understand that it is not just a matter of saying that this is very important for me, and like kids will say, please, 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 I want this, then they will tell you that all my friends have it. That cannot be the rationale and the basis of negotiation. So when you are negotiating, you have to look at the other person's ask, other person's objective. How can you give them something that they need? Now, not getting into the details, so we teach a student how to persuade in a more intelligent way, not just by begging and pressurizing. Yeah, I think somebody is.
I'm looking. None.
Okay, so just sharing with you little things that we've introduced to make a difference. Like, for instance, grade 4. Vishakha ma'am, can you show the Trinity grade 4? So even grade 4, say for instance, they present a personal interest. And here in our grade 4, we make it more like a motivational speaking, and there's a vote for me. So there are many different things. Again, like you're saying, persuade to participation in an activity, which we do. But in grade 4, also what we introduce, Vishakha ma'am, will you share Speak Smart? So I have again put in like a section on debate. So in debate, they learn different skills. Like in a negotiation, you are persuading, but you are persuading in a different way. You have to see the other's point of view. In debate, of course, you have to make your argument very clearly, and you have to learn to deal with, in our syllabus, Vishakha ma'am will share, like interjection from the examiner. So he is asking you questions. Of course, it's prepared, but even then you have to deal with it smartly. So they have to choose a debatable issue. They have to learn not only to handle the interjection and unknown questions, they will also have to actively listen and maybe refute. So getting the other point of view, learning to refute, and then also understanding, like, debate is a very important format because life is not static. Like, every point of view has another point of view. So all these skills they learn. So even as they select their topic, and how does it work? So it is, you'll see in a room when the topic selection happens, often we'll say, okay, first you pitch the topic. Think of 3 things, pitch the topic. So the peers will give them feedback. Is it working? Are you convinced? So they are listening to different topics. They are listening to different points of view. And even sometimes before coming to their own topic, finally, they've gone through God knows how many topics to try and see which one feels better, which one has more substance. So this whole process is a very kind of interesting and very growth oriented learning process, choosing topic and all that. Now, so every grade I have introduced, like I just gave you 2 examples. So there's negotiation, there's persuasion. From grade 5 onwards, also I have put in things like impromptu speaking. Like I said, Trinity is very focused on presentation, but in my opinion, it is very important to learn to do impromptu speaking. So we will give you a topic and we teach you how to the skill. So 15 minutes before the exam, you'll be given the topic as you enter the exam to take the exam. And in that 15 minutes, you prepare and you have to give a 2-minute speech on it. It is not going to be difficult for our kids. I know that 2 minutes or 90 seconds, I don't exactly remember, because many of them are used to jamming. Now, jamming is creative and structured differently. So there's a free flow of speaking in just a minute. But here they have to build a structured speech. And I personally feel this is a very important life skill to have. Tomorrow, if somebody asks you to talk about something, you should, whether you should know the ingredients, that how to go about to structure and speak smartly. So like that, in every grade, like I said, Trinity is a very good exam, but Speak Smart, I have not only based it on what is good about Trinity and other boards, but I have tried to introduce ingredients which I feel will help our students more to be effective in real life. Now, just to give you a little bit of pros and cons of both, obviously, nothing denies the fact that Trinity is a global certification. All right. But it is also an expensive exam. Like they charge you, we have shared the rates. I'm not getting into the fees. And every year they hike the fees and I don't have any control over that. All right. So, and every year parents tell me, ma'am, this, and I can't really help them out. So our way was to introduce Speak Smart exams that yes, it is not a global certification, but hopefully there's a lot of meaningful growth from this that is going to happen. And it should be over time well recognized because of the huge value addition it's doing. So in both Trinity and in Speak Smart, what all our students will get is a certificate, and they also get a report. For every task that they get, the examiner will get feedback, which is, like, this is how you did the task, you could have approached it better, this place you spoke fast, and things like that. So that report is also very meaningful. So a smart combination of Trinity and Speak Smart, which we suggest. There are many students who want to do Trinity right from the beginning, and that's absolutely fine. But for students who also want to maybe have a different flavor, they can do Speak Smart initially because of the way it is oriented. And maybe for the senior certification, a grade 6, 7, or 8, then you do your Trinity certification and it's kind of complete. So that is a combination that you can look out for and see what works optimally for you. The other thing is that also, yes, we've introduced Trinity, and yes, we've brought in your Speak Smart School of Communication certification for you. However, none of the exams are mandatory, neither Speak Smart nor Trinity. So how do we deal with this? It is not easy for us to deal with it, but we do. So what we do is we kind of mock prepare the students who are not appearing for the exam. Like I've shown you, the topics are very broad-based. So for the non-exam students, we allow them, maybe they talk about one concern today, another concern tomorrow, something else. However, for them also, why I say mock prepare, because that little bit of patience to polish a topic, to know, to make it that effective, even that patience, it is important for our students. So we kind of recommend that, either they take the exam or both parents and students kind of cooperate through the exam process, because it is not possible for us to have two separate, things where just Speak Smart normal classes going on and other classes doing exam prep. So we will need your holistic support, whether they're appearing or not, to kind of participate in the process. And if you are having difficulty, then please reach out to us and we will help you and see how we can modify things going forward. So here also in the, another thing I forgot to mention in the Speak Smart syllabus, another thing that I have done, like, you'll see there's a point for conversation with the examiner. And what I have done is like for every grade, just like you're taking the verbals, I have given a lot of emphasis on non-verbals. So non-verbals would be like, say, for instance, you are speaking, but if I'm not using my gestures, if I'm not using my vocal intonation, the entire content can crash. Even if now I'm telling you that, I'm very happy to see you and I'm excited, you can see I'm not moving my hands. I'm sounding most dull, and my nonverbals absolutely will not support the content. So for kids, what we have done at every level, like maybe just at grade 1, they're focusing on making eye contact. So they'll understand the value of that. It is not knowing the nonverbals, it is applying them. Then maybe at the next level, I've said, you focus on your posture. Next level, you will focus on using your gestures better. I mean, level 3 will be, of course, all the 3. Then, just expression. And along with it, we also bring in the vocal tools. Like, what is the power of pause? How fast should you speak? Okay. Which parts do you emphasize? How do you break up sentences so that it sounds more effective? So all these I have woven into the Speak Smart syllabus from my personal experience. So just wanted to share that with you. And also, few other things I wanted to share, that who is the examiner going to be for Speak Smart. So Speak Smart is having a, interesting format, hopefully. So of course, Vishakha ma'am and I are going to examine our students, and we will be fair. We are not, that because there are students, no. In fact, it will be tougher to go through us than average examiner, and all our students know that. Other than that, we are also introducing a lot of our senior students who've been with us for a long time. And, they know exactly how Speak Smart works, and they are really good at speaking. So what we are doing is, and they are internationally certified, because many of them have, all of them who are going to be examining will have Trinity certification. So we've invited them. So many of them are doing internships with us. So they will be also acting as examiners, and we are really welcoming the process. So as your kids grow up also, they will have this platform for multiple ways of growth. So we are getting internships where they will conduct along with us. They will learn to examine. So even say for an annual day, I don't know whether you noticed or not, like we wanted more student judges because they know what's happening in schools, and they really are good with the judging. And we want to use this platform for our students to grow, not just invite celebs who give them a piece of their mind and leave. So this is also something that I wanted to share with you. And lastly, want to share how does the grade selection and topic selection process work. Okay, so the grade selection, how we do it is, the grade selection is not based on which class the student is in. Okay, so irrespective of the class, like I said, it's a skill set. So please allow us to help them, because you see, if you're reaching for something for the wrong reasons, or for whatever reasons for you think maybe that level is too challenging, ultimately if your self-esteem is not in place and you are having a terrible exam experience because you feel pressurized, you feel harassed, and it's your job, remember, it's not mom's job or my job or anybody else's job to write your speech. So if you choose something that is appropriate for you with our support, hopefully it's a better process. So whether it's the Speak Smart exam or Trinity exam, we encourage that teachers suggest grades. After that, we allow students to choose. So there are some students who will say, ma'am, I'm okay to take on because school is not so busy. So I can handle something like this and I promise to work on it. There will be other students who say, no, ma'am, I'm stressed out. Let me just take this level because these kind of topics work better for me. So we will ask parents to cooperate with us and accept that. We will have their best intent in mind, and that is a far more healthy growth process than just having a level certification. It's like having a certified singer who can't sing or can sing. So let them grow at their own place and really master the skill, which is the most important thing. So that is kind of more or less what I wish to say. So now for a few minutes, I'll open it up to questioning for anybody. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Sheila ma'am, should we the grade 5 syllabus once, or just part of the impromptu speaking and all, or is it okay?
Okay, I've explained like grade 5 syllabus also, like I said, are like different levels. So otherwise, I don't want to get into a very detailed discussion. More or less, I think I've said what I needed to. So now we are just up for, okay, so ma'am, now we can put it on gallery view. Yes, I think Aditi has...
Aditi, and I'll just
pin. You can unpin you and me, and then we can just
mute. Ma'am, I'm spotlighting you.
Yeah, but you can
Okay,
just
perfect.
unpin. I can just speak. You don't have to pin me. I can just talk. We can. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to understand, you said the kids can take Trinity grade, they can start at grade 3, 4, 5, whatever is appropriate, right?
Yes.
Now, let's say my child does not start at grade 3 and takes the Speak Smart exams and later on takes a 6, 7 grade exam. So how does this impact the child? Like if she does not have the certification from grade 3 onwards versus having a certification from grade 7 onwards.
So, ma'am, this is a valid question. However, it's like, what happens is once you've passed your class 8, nobody asks you what happened in class 3. So we just have to make sure the skill set is in place. And then they can take a senior certification any. So for the senior certification, because often like with our seniors who say maybe, then we ask them to go for the Trinity certification because of college apps. Okay. Or a job application or a school transfer. But for the junior level, we will make sure that, the skill set is in place and there are absolutely no worries about it. And even with Trinity, ultimately, if you're taking a grade 7, nobody is asking you whether grade 3 performance, because ultimately you're submitting the grade 7 certification that carries the validity then. All right. So does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, so I think it kind of makes sense to go ahead with the Speak Smart exam to begin with, because I don't know what the fee structure for Speak Smart exam is. Like I've seen the Trinity exam fee structure.
We will share that with you. I think we already have, but we'll put it on the group, and the exact fields we'll discuss going ahead if there are any issues.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Vishakha ma'am, then if you're pinning the parent, then you pin both me and the question.
All right.
So not pinning one person.
Okay. So, ma'am, because the videos are off, so I'm not pinning anymore. So,
So
Namrata,
there are people whose videos are on. I think you can't see. I can see Kiash and
Namrata Kothari raised her hand first. Then,
Acha, theek hai. So just put them on. So if you're asking a question, would request you to keep your video on and question, then it's just nicer for me to answer that way.
okay. So I'm spotlighting Kiash Mandal's mother.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am. I am
And
Kiash
you have to
Mandal.
spotlight, just pin us both, ma'am. Then that is better. Whoever's asking, yeah.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My son is Kiash and he is in class 6 and doing speech and this
Effective
debate for the
communication.
first time, effective communication. But while he was in his primary school, he was into the speech and drama, right? From SSLCM, and he has completed up till grade 3. So I would like to ask whether he can directly appear for the Trinity grade 4 in this
Yes. So
situation.
here what happens, ma'am, firstly, drama is very different as a subject. All right.
Acha.
Because drama, elocution, these things, we teach those ingredients more for delivery, but it is like memorizing and saying. All right.
Okay.
So speak smart, because like I said, effective communication is a separate skill. We
Okay.
cannot go by anyway, it's not mandatory that you have to do a 3 to do 4. They can
Okay.
go whichever level based on their skill set. Because see, here the skill set we teach is very different in the sense that we don't encourage them to memorize. Because imagine you have to give a 1 hour speech later. So
Yeah.
because you do not speak like an essay, you can be a very well-read person, but you don't speak like an essay, neither do you speak like a book. So we encourage speaking skills. So we encourage our students, okay, to follow the PPT, jot a few points, okay, not memorize, just do your key points and speak. Use other aids to get it across. So it's a very different skill set from drama, which you are, maybe memorizing and performing. So
Okay.
I'm not sure that is because like I said, we teach it as a life skill. So you have
So
to.
what do you suggest for him? Which grade should he appear
We
for?
are not getting into personal suggestions today, ma'am. In
Okay.
class, we are talking to all our students and I'll explain. So, ma'am, you can just unpin and I'll explain the selection to everybody. You can just pin me and I'll explain. So for the way we do grade selection is, like I said, we discuss with the students and we'll see their comfort level. Then we will try to align it in 2 ways. Okay. One is we try to work with the students' interests. We try to factor that into their presentation so that the presentation is more impactful. But at the same time, they have to recognize that irrespective of what my interest is and what my content is, today I've done a double MA in Sanskrit, but there's no demand for Sanskrit. In which case it's not going to make for a great speech. So like that, this entire process of which grade, which topic, it's a discussion through which we will do with the student and grow, and we will, we will suggest and guide them. So here also we give them the responsibility other than us, because even if they hash up, they will know that we selected wrong, this didn't work, and that is a far more important learning than just being told do this, do that. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So Vishakha ma'am.
So when do we come to know, ma'am, about this?
We'll inform ma'am through the process. I'll just take other questions. We'll be doing it in class and we'll be putting up everybody's name and suggested grades on the groups.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Yes, you can.
Please go ahead, Dr. Sarkar. You're pinned.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Good.
I just wanted to know whether there will be any additional classes required for the kids to appear for this exam.
So, we do it in class. Okay, we guide them in a way that everything is covered. Like I said, unlike a regular Speak Smart class, we will give topic guidelines. Then the student has to work, come back, and then we correct and we encourage them to present, and we do that. So there is additional work done by them, which is beyond class by the student for the purpose of the exam. But we don't prefer to give extra classes. I mean, in many situations we have, but we don't encourage that, because when we have so many students doing it, it is not a practical solution. And like we said, they'll have to take ownership and grow. It is not, if they are having difficulty understanding and all that, we definitely help them out. So,
And what would be the frequency of these exams? I mean, the
Exams are
kid,
once a year.
if he has been
Exams-
scheduled for grade 3, then how
Yes.
long will it take to complete up to grade 8?
So I'll answer that. What happens is the exam frequency we prefer to keep once a year, because what happens is it's stressful taking an exam and the preparation and the topic, it becomes, if I make them take 2 exams a year, they will stop doing communication altogether. Okay. So it doesn't work. Also, like I said, even though it is every year, we allow, if the skill set is there, it is possible to jump a grade. So like you can go from 2, then you can do 4, you can skip 3. There are some very foundational grades which we don't allow students to skip, like for example, grade 6 in both Trinity and Speak Smart, because grade 6 has this thing about building your CV, taking an interview, and all students of mine have come back over the years and said, ma'am, this has helped us so much. Okay. So there are certain foundational grades that we don't allow them to skip. And also, sir, to remind you again, we keep it more about learning the skill set rather than the number on the certificate. We respect that all our senior students, they want to finish as much as they can, but we don't want a traumatic experience. When you're biting off more than you can chew, it just becomes ultimately not doable. So let them grow and put that skill set in place, that they're effective communicators in life. So that is our main objective. But having said that, we try and make sure for our senior students, obviously there is a kid joining us in class 11. We are going to help him to do for his college at the highest grade that he can do. So we will definitely keep that in mind.
There are always 2 school of thoughts, ma'am. One is for certificates and marks, and the other one is for actual learning.
So that is the
So-
balance that we try to do. That, we try to
Yeah.
give the higher certification possible, but the focus has to be on learning. If the certification again has to be doable, like, there is a capacity that our student has. So we have to make sure that it works within that capacity, because like I said, it's practical, it's interactive, it's live. So there is no way that you can hide your head and write on a question paper and the marks come later. And that experience becomes life shaping, because if you hash up, you're embarrassed, you get stuck, you don't know what to say. That becomes harder to undo. So we don't, that is, and they recognize these things. Like our kids are smart and we prefer these conversations. So they kind of,
Yes, they are actually too smart.
in a way, yes. But
Anyway,
of course.
yeah, thank you.
All right.
So, ma'am, we have 3 other people, but
Yes, I'll take them one by, however. I think
let's
Namrata had.
You guys are focusing more on building foundational skills
Mhm.
rather than just going for the certification for the name of, for the heck of it, which makes sense. And also what I understand is that for the higher grades, you are recommending that of maybe a Trinity would help more, but now we can opt to do a combination. So
Absolutely.
in that case, ma'am, Sanvi, my daughter, she's just started with you 4 months back.
Mhm.
She's pretty much enjoying the classes a lot, but I think mostly she's doing with kids who are older than her. Should I depend upon Vishaka ma'am or you about guiding us about which level?
We will take full risk. And even if Vishaka ma'am's in class, I take 100% responsibility for the guidance.
Okay, ma'am. So then, ma'am, then you'll let us know. So I'll leave it to you. You
Absolutely.
think that she should take or not take, what level she should take, and if she should take,
Absolutely.
and which.
See, take or not take, usually we recommend. Like, we never say it's mandatory, we recommend, because this experience shapes
No,
them.
I would also want her to
Yeah.
take. That's
So
one of
this
my
is what,
primary
and
reasons.
it doesn't matter even if she's learnt now, because the exam ultimately, ma'am, that's in mid-November. All right.
Okay.
So we encourage them to go through the process that, they do this, then we come back to regular class, so that is just important to do. Because there are
Sure.
breaks in
So,
between.
ma'am, I am keen that she takes. I will look forward to your advice on what level she should take. She's in
That's-
grade 2, but I look forward to your advice.
Okay. And don't worry about missing the content, because we are recording today. We'll be sharing the video so that any person, who's missed the meeting has access.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I really
All right,
appreciate
ma'am.
you taking the call. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so now we have Sukanya Bose. May I request you to turn your video on, please? Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I would like to thank you because my son is with Speak Smart from class 6, from St. Xavier's class 9, Ayush.
Okay.
And I'm very happy to share that under your guidance, Ayush has not only won school debates, but he is also now become a senior reporter of TTIS. But till date, he have not taken part in any exam. He was just preparing himself. But now, as in class 9, I would like to take your guidance whether he should sit for any exam, the Trinity College exam.
I
As
know
per your
Ayush.
guidance, we will take
So
it.
if he's in class 9, we'd recommend, I know Ayush, because sometimes 10 becomes very busy. So for a class 9 student, we recommend that they take a Trinity exam. All right.
Okay,
And we'll
ma'am.
be sharing. So with all students, whether it's Xavier's, whether it's SpeakSmart, we'll be giving the recommended grades on the group, and we'll be doing class discussions with them.
Thank you so
Only
much,
thing,
ma'am.
which we really encourage students that, please try to come to class, because usually we are not giving homework. And even if you haven't prepped for the exam, we really encourage you to come to class, because when you are in class, work will get done. We'll kind of guide you to do it. And it's important to attend. Like, we have a lot of seniors who attend through ICSE, who attend through their boards, because for them it's like a break. You come 90 minutes, do something, leave class, you're not carrying the stress back. And that is a resilience that they grow with, because none of our kids are studying 24/7. So, and we have options like closer to the exam. We don't encourage it, but we have the facility that, okay, during exams, we allow them to join online and things like that. So use those facilities and make sure that they come in rather than miss, because it is very hard to replicate once a class is missed. We will give suggestions, and we cannot always give that option that, okay, join some other batch, because that batch may be doing something else. So that is the only request, that try to make sure that they come to class.
Yeah, I know he misses a class because my mother is quite an aged person and it becomes difficult for her to wait. But of course, I will pursue them and make him wait. But do guide him as to what
Yeah.
kind of exam he should take.
We'll
And
be doing
for
the class
certificate.
discussion, ma'am. So don't worry about it. That we'll be doing for every single student.
And ma'am, if you have anything more for debating, like he wants to get into debate more and
Yeah.
more.
So,
So
ma'am,
if
we'll
there is
personally
any,
discuss that later. We'll
okay,
discuss that later.
surely, ma'am. I'll wait for your guidance, ma'am. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
So what happens is, I'm not doing any debate workshop now, but what we do encourage the students is, when they have to go for a debate, they can always bring the topic to us or give us, so we can make them practice a little bit before class, after class. We cannot, I'm not conducting a separate session, but our kids are smart enough even with that guidance to pick up.
So,
Noted, ma'am.
Okay.
Neha has a question.
Yeah, Vishakha, they're quite, yeah.
Neha and Chetan Prakash to Kanya, suppose I'll lower.
So you lower the hands. Yeah, we have to lower it. Yeah. All right.
So Neha and I've asked them both
It's
to.
okay. You ask, then you just
I think they're
give,
not.
and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, yeah.
Hi there. Hi, Sheila ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I just wanted a quick question actually. For example, if you have selected a child for level 2 exam, I thought maybe this child is not that, is capable for that level only. But if he makes an effort, if a child makes an effort, and if we want to go for level 3, do you advise that?
See, like I said, this is very child specific. We encourage them to take their own decision with us. But in my experience, like, over ambition just for the grade number is not the healthiest thing, because like I said, it impacts self-esteem. First the process becomes really strenuous, because you're struggling with something which is, little bit tougher for you. And you see, all our students have a lot of other things happening in the background. This is not the only class that they're doing. So ideally, we don't like to create that pressure. It's not worth it. Let them learn peacefully. And you see, once they learn happily, they will love it and they will excel at it. Whereas a stressful learning, that negative experience is not encouraged. So we, like I said, if it's a grade 10 student, then we'll teach them to reach out in a different way. But for the juniors, and every level has many skill sets to learn. Like I just showed you, it's so broad based. You learn to campaign, you learn to interview, there are 100 things happening. So we will make sure that they learn well, but don't encourage them to just go for the number on the grade. We will be giving suggestions, and sometimes they negotiate and they persuade us also. Like, I'll tell them, no, okay, you can't do it. Then they'll come back, no, ma'am, I've really tried. So let them just grow through that process. And then if they prove to us, we say, okay, this topic, now you've done some work. So even that learning, we are student centric because of that. That personality development doesn't happen when mom is decided or when Sheila ma'am is deciding. It happens when you learn to fight for your space, okay, and stand up. So this is how we usually try to do it.
Sounds good, ma'am. Thank you for
All
answering.
right.
Just 1 second.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sheila ma'am. I'm
Yes.
Chetan Prakash, father of Anisha Prakash. Yeah, so Anisha is in grade 4, so I'm in class 8 in modern high school. So I
Okay.
just wanted to know,
Hmm.
for her, you recommend, because she'll be going in class 9, it will be a big jump in her studies and all.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you would recommend her to give the Trinity exam in mid-November and go through it, or what do you suggest? Way forward for her.
I would suggest, because I don't think grade 9 is, like I said, every kid is not studying 24/7. In our experience, like many, I don't want to name students, like our higher achievers, they are able to deal. So let her in life
Okay.
learn that ability to cope and be resilient rather than, dump something. And I mean, this is not something we encourage, but it's her decision. We will encourage her to
Okay.
deal. See, because it's in November. All right. So we
Yes.
have many students who've prepared well. You have this under control. It's not your memory, you've got it. So, okay, you've taken your exam in school, then you come and take this exam. Because another
Okay.
thing we have, like, see, it's a few minutes, it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes, depending on the grade, and it's a practical presentation. Another advantage of SpeakSmart, in fact, I forgot to mention, like Trinity, sometimes there is an issue that happens because it's like, they have it from Monday to Friday. Usually the examiner doesn't want to do
Okay.
weekends, which sometimes becomes a problem because, see, we have to sometimes schedule on school time. Some schools grant leave, some schools create a problem with it. With SpeakSmart, we are going to have, Saturdays and Sunday exams also, so we'll create that option. But Trinity is not in my control.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, ma'am, by when do we have to register for the same, for
As
Anisha,
soon
for
as
Trinity,
possible.
or?
As soon as possible. So we'll be putting out the grades. Once you get the grades,
Okay.
you can register.
Okay, ma'am. So you would suggest that Anisha should give it this year?
Yes, of course. I would always suggest, because there's enough time for her to, kind of learn to speak and do other things, because she has to speak in November for the exam. There's adequate time.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sheila, ma'am. It's been quite an informative session. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I'm from the, so I think there is some
Oh, that's
network
not a
issues in
problem.
between.
That's
Yeah.
not a problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Good
Thank you,
evening.
ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. You're welcome. Good evening, Rishad. Nice to see you.
Hi, good evening. Good to see you
Where
as
is
well.
our student? I saw her peeping and then she disappeared.
Yes, she's on and off.
Okay.
So two quick queries kind of
Yes.
related to each other.
Mhm.
One I gather from you is that most of the prepping for these exams, be it SpeakSmart or Trinity, will be taking place in class itself.
It will. So it is the thing is, we help them with the topic selection. Then they speak some. Okay. After that, we will give them a detailed guidance that this is the parts you need to work out. This has to be put forward. This part has to be made more catchy. Maybe, you need a call to action. So that reworking has to be done beyond. We sometimes tell them to do it in class itself, but there is a requirement. Maybe they work sometimes beyond. Not everybody finishes in the same way.
Understood. So coming to my two main queries relating from drawing it from this point of view, is that, so that means students who are not appearing for the exams also, both the exams or either of the exams, they are also invariably preparing for the exams.
Yes.
Fine, that's one. And suppose in a class there are different students appearing for different grades of exams. Is the preparation the same for them or is it different? How does that work out
Most
there?
of our classes are mixed. So we will, so like, Trinity Prep is a little independent. So we'll explain the general guidelines. Then we'll do lesson plans that align. Then she is presenting her topic, another person. So we also have that mechanism of giving feedback and all that. So they will learn together. That somehow we balance out. And, they learn from each other. So even say, for instance, a grade 3 student is presenting her topic. All right. So grade 4 student knows now how to critique her. So we'll tell her, so why don't you tell her that, how did it work? So that is a learning process even for the grade 4. We'll put her as a mock examiner or him as a mock examiner to examine the kid. Okay, so I have worked with it for years, and these things really, shape them. Like now I have teachers like Vishakha ma'am and maybe others who help. But my best interview preps came, Rishad, is when my students were interviewing, because they would just never give the job. So they would just drive you bonkers and say, no, I won't give it, no matter what. And those students were really strong. So, it's student-centric, because this interactiveness and being sort of part of the class in so many ways that we are going to give you the opportunity for, that's really recommended, and I feel it helps.
Great, thanks a lot.
What happens is sometimes if, even like if a student is not taking the exam, we will maybe for that person to have the patience to stick with that, so maybe we let them change gears over tasks, over topics and all that. We keep that fluidity to keep them engaged. That's the one thing that we do.
Right, understood. Thank you.
Okay.
1 second. I'm good.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, Mariah has really developed a lot
Yeah.
from the time
And
she has
she's been one of our interns, and she's really helped us also. So we are very
Yes,
proud
ma'am.
of her internship.
Ma'am, she really looks forward to it, but just the school curriculum
I understand.
is holding her back for
No, but
some
she's
time.
come in already, and that's been, important because she gave feedback, she helped to conduct class, and because that is real life application of your skills, which was really great.
Ma'am, one thing I wanted to know, like, suppose she does till grade 7 and somehow cannot make it till grade 8.
That's fine.
So, ma'am, like, does it affect her CV? Or if she does grade 8,
See,
it affects it in a positive manner?
I'll just tell you, see, it depends. Now, what happens is grade 6, we don't allow them to skip because, like I said, it's a very formative grade which has all this training. Between 7 and 8, not so much difference in the value add. Even colleges view it similarly, they are both higher grades. But grade 8 is very technical in some ways and not very enjoyable. So we'll go through that process and see it is possible to jump 7 if she wants to create just finish the certification. We'll help her to do that. And if she feels, but viewer wise, it's not, it depends on the stress then. So colleges view 7 and 8 similarly. Like grade 8 is substantially more challenging. So if she feels that she's able to deal with it, we'll let her. And if she feels that, no, I'm dealing with both, but I just want to finish my certification, so 7 is good enough, we'll let her. So that process we balance out as we come to it.
Actually, ma'am, she's in class 9 now and she would be appearing for grade 6.
Yeah.
Actually, I want her to finish this off till class 11, ma'am.
Yeah, so she will.
And next year would be class 10. So I don't know how much she would be able to.
Ma'am, we'll discuss it with her. Don't worry. I know Miraya and we'll help her tackle it.
Okay, that was my query.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll help her tackle it. This is the process she has to learn to balance life. So we'll help her to do that. Don't worry. And she should finish till grade 8. I don't think there's a problem.
Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome.
I think Mr. Rayan Nawaz has his hand up.
Yeah.
Can I ask you to please unmute and turn your video on?
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening.
Okay, just want to check because part of the curriculum, there is an element of supporting the students with presentation. So are we going to aid them with PowerPoint?
Not you.
Or
you will not have to aid them. We will help them. So even how to create a PPT, what is an effective slide? So visual aid could be in many things, many ways. Okay, like say for instance, a kid, a PowerPoint is an option. You can have a very good infographic. Okay, so not only, so even like a PowerPoint should not have your speech written on it. It's a verbal clue for you, little bit of audience connect, maybe a picture and a something. Again, you're not marked on the visual aid. You should command the stage. So we help them do that balance and design all that. So don't worry about it. We will definitely help with the process.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, I think that was it. Okay, so Shivang's raised his hand 1 second.
Okay.
Shivang is
Ma'am, somehow, actually, my camera is not working. I'm sorry, I won't be able to switch it on.
Okay.
Ma'am, actually, Vishakha ma'am is aware Shivang has got a fracture. He's not able to attend physical classes.
Yes, I've seen him on screen. That's fine.
So, will he be able to cope up with all the curriculum and all the support he needs to attend the class physically and all? So, he'll be able to cope up for the exams later.
He'll be able to cope. There should not be a problem. And by that time, his hand will heal. And like I said, like we prefer real life experience because, life, many things can happen. You have to deal.
Yeah. It's another maybe 1 month or so he should not be able to travel. And after that, he should be able to.
So that is absolutely feasible.
Okay.
But just ask him, like even on online, see, it is harder, a little bit more challenging for him because online just to sustain, it doesn't have the energy of physical, where they're running around, they're playing the game, that is not there. So it's a little harder for him. So he'll have to be patient. But that is, we'll support him to our best.
Yeah. But the content and matter, he'll be learning all that.
Of course.
Be taken care of. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Akshar maybe has a question.
Okay.
Akshar's parents, I do not know, but can I please ask? Yeah.
Are you sharing? Okay, yes.
Yes, ma'am, I'm spot on.
You're muted, ma'am.
Yeah, I have unmute. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I would like to know like how much time this whole process will take, like how many weeks it will take for us to know which grade my child is suitable for.
By next week, we'll let you know.
Okay, and once we know the grade, then only we get to decide whether we want
do you have a son or daughter?
Son, Akshar.
Okay, he's in Xavier's or Speak Smart?
No, he's in Lamart's.
Okay, no, so we'll be putting it all out by next week.
Okay, so once you put it out, then we can.
Then you have to send the fees. Even for the fees and all that, we'll share the procedure how to go about it.
Okay, and once we get to know from you when which grade is suitable for him, after that we get to decide whether he will appear for Speak Smart exam or will go for the Trinity exam.
That decision you can take before. We'll give a suggestion of Speak Smart grade and Trinity grade, Trinity rate and Speak Smart rate. So whichever you choose for him, now whether it's Trinity or Speak Smart, that is your decision. What we will do from our side is we'll give you the suggestion of the grade.
Okay, and one more question. If initial few years he just stick with the Speak Smart grade and later if he go for the Trinity grade as you suggested, will it going to affect him in long run by not appearing for the initial grades of the Trinity?
Not at all, because I have created this, so I've aligned it to cover Trinity and more. So that should not be a problem.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that was it, ma'am. I think we've answered all the questions.
All right. So, and if there are further questions, you can always reach out via the group. And we always prefer you to ask a question on the group because that way we track it better. Not a personal message to Vishakha ma'am or me, unless of course there's some issue which is personal and you don't want to put on the group. But we encourage it because sometimes your question is other people's questions and it gets answered. And we track the group better. So for that, so whether it's a kid coming has to leave early and we insist on your asking for permission before and that process. So it's always nicer through the group. Okay, so with that, I'll kind of say good evening and thank you to all of you. And thank you for taking the time to kind of listen to our process and our session. And good evening and good night. Have a nice
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Night. Thank you.
Ma'am, anything else from your end?
No, we are done for, we wished you a good evening. And
Ma'am, lastly, I'd like to compliment your entire team. The entire presentation and lecture was very lucid, crystal clear, comprehensive. And probably I think if somebody would have listened the entire statement of yours, no queries arises. It's very simple. Choices are always with the parents. Instructors are always there to assist.
Thank you so much.
Probably thanks for the great evening. Pleasure talking to you and listening to you.
Thank you so much for the appreciation.
Sure.
Thank you once again.
You're welcome.